How important is the winter maintenance, which you're doing now, for preparing for this season?
But it's very important, actually, to be honest. It's probably the most important time, because this is when you can actually get on and do work on the green, levelling it, getting bumps out of it, repairing damage, doing all sorts of things, ditches, repair. In the summer, people are playing on it from 10 till 10, basically, almost. So you can't do anything. All you can do is cut in the mornings. That's all you can do. So this is the most time that you can actually do any work. And what we're doing at the moment is like spiking, lots of aeration, get air into the green, get the grass to grow. Obviously, treatments to stop any moss, to also encourage growth, root growth, which is what we're after at the moment, is root growth now, this time of year, not blade growth, not top growth. You want it to get the roots down, make it strong. We're doing work on the bottom green at the moment on raising, putting an edging, or putting wooden battens in, and the edges have run away a bit. They sink where people stand all the time, and so putting a wooden batten in, and then I'm going to be able to pull the turf back, put some top dressing, and put the turf back down, and get it fairly level.
And is the plan for that to be ready for start of the season?
I'll be ready for the start. Yeah, it should be ready in the next couple of weeks. I'm halfway through the bottom one at the moment. Well, I've done one end. I'm halfway through the back end. Hopefully that'll be finished. It's weather dependent. All this stuff here is weather dependent, unfortunately. But after the next few days, I think next week's got a few good days, so I hope to finish it all next week, and then I can start putting top dressing on.
How important are these upcoming months? So your months just before, is it important time for you guys?
It's a big time, because you start to next month particularly. We'll do some verticutting or probably light scarification on the green. Get all the dead grass and moss and the stuff that slows the green down. We also start cutting more regularly. We're not cutting very often at the moment. In March, we start to cut more regular. So it starts to cut 2 or 3 times a week, maybe. By the end of the month, every day of the week. First cut's going to be about 12 mil, then down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, etc.
What do you normally keep the blade out throughout the summer?
To start with, probably 5 initially on the season start, and down to 4. Sometimes slightly low, but probably 4, 4.5. Don't like to go too low than 4. Other clubs go a bit lower, but then you're shaving all the grass off. You only get a hot spell and the grass is brown. February is a funny month, funny weather patterns, but no, as I say, we'll be scarifying, spiking, rolling it. Got turf iron, so we iron the green.
We mentioned before started recording about your playing history here at the club.
Yep.
Does that factor into the work that you do? Do you think you've got a bit more kind of personal touch?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I want the best surface here for me to play on and everyone else to play on. And I want the best surface for visitors to come to. And there's nothing more rewarding, actually, that when you get clubs come here and they say that it's one of the best places to play on. That's rewarding for not just me, but for the whole team.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about as well, especially within this industry, to get that little bit of recognition. Yeah. Someone say, thank you. That means a lot.
It does. For us, as I say, us as a team here and the contractors as well, because when I get that, I always pass it on to the contractors that we use.
Let's talk a little bit about the contractors and obviously the work that they sometimes come in and do. What kind of work do they normally do? Is it a once a month?
They come once a week, and obviously it's all weather dependent. But like today, they've been and we've had a sarrel roll put on the green, which is little spikes put on the green. Next week they come in, they're going to do a slightly deeper spike, some verticutting. As I said, get out the dead grass, moss, start letting the new grass grow through, because we want fine blades, not heavy moss. Most of the stuff they do, as I say, is either spiking, a lot of spiking, to be honest, scarifying, verticutting, and then treatments. I do verti training here, and this is one of the things you can't do in the summer. And verti training is long spikes, about 2 feet long, 18 inches, I suppose. Yeah, about 18 inches long. Very big spikes, about an inch diameter. And they go on with a tractor and they punch right down through the ground, which leaves big holes in the ground, which one of the things that people would, when they've seen that, they go, oh my God, big holes. But they fill in, they just slowly fill in over time. But that breaks up the surface down below.
Yeah, and I suppose just having that little bit of help would probably benefits the club as a whole.
It just helps. It helps the heavy work because some of the equipment is big and hard work to use, and if you're not using them all the time, you do injuries and that. So we don't want people injured.
You kind of mentioned it before, but what kind of challenges does adverse weather bring for a bowls club?
Yeah, well, snow and frost, obviously, you've got to keep off of it. You can't do anything with snow and frost. And you've got to make sure that even when the snow and frost is gone, the ground is thawed out below the surface. Some people just go walking on the surface and you damage the roots. You can't do a lot really either when it's too wet. And that can give us a problem. The wet can rot the grass if it's too wet. If you have water on there for too long, that's why we need good drainage, hence spiking all the time.
Yeah, I think it is slightly underestimated how important the winter months actually are for somewhere like a bowls club.
Yeah, I mean, another job I've done this year, I've tried to do is putting a little bit more drainage on the bottom green, and I've had to dig up the green. Not what you want to do. I've dug a channel and I've laid a pipe in and I've put it back. Can't do that. That can only be done in the winter months.
I just wanted to talk about your career as well so far. So you've had about 6 years greenkeeping.
Greenkeeping.
You were at Sunningdale Bowls Club before coming here.
Yeah.
What difference has that been coming from Sunningdale to here in terms of team management, in terms of your workload?
More of a management role now. So it's organising people, getting rotas together, getting them to do the jobs that need doing. So thinking about what needs doing, ditches clearing, leaves clearing. So it's getting management and of that, communicating to them what's needed, what's required. Whereas I probably before just mainly did it myself and then get someone to help me. I didn't have to manage anyone. I'd just say, oh, can you clean the ditches? And I'll do the others.
Yeah, and I think having that team ethos must help in making sure when you're doing these winter maintenance jobs and preparing for the season, if you've got that spare pair of hands, that probably helps.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I can call on people. Look, I've got a guy help me on the edging down the bottom. Sometimes you don't need too many people because it just gets in each other's way or whatever. But if you're only doing a small job like that, a couple of us doing it, that's fine. Every morning, every day, this is brushed. We have to brush the green to get the dew off. So any days that are not raining and not frosty, obviously, you dew brush to get the moisture off the green to stop the disease. And so I've got a team that, again, managing that, getting doing the dew brushing each day. So a team of that, either that or swishing the worm cast. Lots of things that are going on, and there's so many I forget them because they're and that's what goes on all through the winter that people don't think about.
Have you ever had any disease issues here?
All clubs and all grasses are going to have disease of some sorts. Fusarium, there's a bit of fusarium out there at the moment. Not major, not concerned, but it's the weather. Just you're going to get warm, damp conditions. You're going to get fusarium. In the summer, we sometimes get a bit of dollar spot. Again, catch it, see it early, catch it and treat it.
When do you start kind of really preparing for the next season?
Basically, I don't stop preparing for the next. I mean, honestly, it starts the minute we finish in October. We start doing do repair work and treatments, and that is getting it ready. To be honest, at the start of the season. But obviously, there's a bit of a lull through the winter, Christmas, January months because they're generally the weather. So February now, just kicking on now, starting to do stuff now to March, and then March really. So they'll be on the green on the 6th of April, weather permitting. They'll be out there.